I created a podcast using only AI. Here is how I want to tell you something that surprised even me. I launched a podcast without recording a single word in my own voice, without owning a microphone, without any audio editing experience, without a studio, a soundproofed room, or any of the equipment most people assume you need before starting. The entire podcast was created using AI tools, scripts written by Claude, voices generated by ElevenLabs, audio edited automatically, cover art designed in Canva, published to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts in the same afternoon. Today, I am showing you exactly how I did it and how you can do the same thing starting today. Welcome to Tech Talk Tech. We upload every single day with fresh AI strategies. Subscribe now and hit the bell so you never miss tomorrow's video. Why podcasting is still a massive opportunity. Most people assume podcasting is oversaturated. Millions of podcasts exist. Why would anyone find yours? The reality is different. Yes, there are millions of podcasts, but the vast majority stopped publishing after fewer than 10 episodes. The barrier most podcasters cannot overcome is consistent production effort week after week. AI removes that barrier completely. When scripts take 5 minutes and audio takes 10 minutes, consistency becomes genuinely sustainable. And here is the monetization reality most miss. A small but highly engaged niche podcast is worth more to sponsors than a large general audience. A 500-listener show about AI tools for small businesses is worth more to an AI software company than a 50,000-listener general tech show. Niche authority drives podcast income. Step 1. Choose your format and niche. Before opening any AI tool, decide 2 things. What topic will your podcast cover consistently? And what format will each episode follow? The most sustainable podcast formats for AI-generated shows are educational single-topic episodes, interview-style shows where you discuss questions with an AI-generated guest voice, news and trends roundup episodes summarizing the week in your niche, and tutorial walkthroughs teaching a specific skill in audio format. Open Claude and describe your interests, your knowledge areas, and the audience you want to serve. Ask Claude to suggest 10 podcast niche ideas with strong listener demand, clear monetization potential, and enough depth to sustain 100 episodes of content without repeating yourself. Pick the niche that feels most authentic to your genuine knowledge. Authenticity in a podcast comes through even when the voice is AI-generated, because the ideas, the perspective, and the point of view are yours. Decide on a consistent episode length. 20 to 30 minutes is the sweet spot for most educational podcasts. Long enough to deliver real value. Short enough to fit into a commute or workout. Step 2. Write your episodes with Claude. Every podcast episode starts with a script, and Claude produces complete podcast scripts faster than any other tool available. Give Claude a detailed episode brief. Include your podcast name, your target listener profile, the specific topic of this episode, the key points you want to cover, and the tone you want. Educational, conversational, authoritative, or entertaining. Ask Claude to write a complete podcast script, including a strong opening hook that immediately communicates the episode's value. A brief host introduction. The main content divided into clear sections, natural transitions between topics, practical takeaways the listener can apply immediately, and a closing call to action inviting listeners to subscribe and leave a review. A well-prompted Claude script for a 25-minute podcast episode takes approximately 90 seconds to generate. Read through it carefully. Add your personal insights and specific examples. Adjust any sections that feel generic. The final script should feel like your genuine perspective delivered in your authentic voice, even though AI wrote the first draft. Save all your episode scripts in a Notion database organized by episode number, topic, and publish date. This becomes your complete podcast content library. Step 3. Generate professional audio with ElevenLabs. This is the step that makes the entire AI podcast concept possible. ElevenLabs converts your written script into a natural-sounding professional voiceover that listeners cannot distinguish from a human narrator. Go to ElevenLabs and sign up. The free tier gives you enough monthly credits to produce 2 to 3 short episodes. The starter plan at $5 per month gives you enough for a weekly show. Choose your podcast voice carefully. ElevenLabs offers dozens of voice options across different genders, accents, and speaking styles. Listen to multiple samples. Choose a voice that matches the tone and personality of your show. Warm and conversational for lifestyle topics. Authoritative and clear for business and technology. Energetic and engaging for motivational content. Paste your complete episode script into ElevenLabs. Generate the audio. Listen through the full episode once to catch any mispronunciations or awkward pauses. Make small script adjustments where needed and regenerate those sections. Download the finished MP3 file. Your professional podcast episode audio is complete. No microphone, no recording, no editing software. Step 4. Publish your podcast to distribute to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all major platforms simultaneously. Use Anchor by Spotify. It is completely free and distributes everywhere automatically. Sign up for Anchor. Upload your episode MP3. Write your episode title and description, both generated by Claude. Add your episode number and chapter markers. For your cover art, open Canva. Search podcast cover. Choose a clean professional template. Add your podcast name and a tagline. Download as a square PNG at 3000 by 3000 pixels. Submit to Spotify and Apple Podcasts through Anchor's distribution dashboard. First approval takes 24 to 48 hours. Every new episode after that publishes automatically across all platforms the moment you upload it. Step 5. Grow and monetize. Promote every episode like your YouTube videos. Share clips on TikTok and Instagram. Post episode summaries on LinkedIn. Include your podcast link in every YouTube video description. Ask Claude to write a 60-second audiogram script for each episode, a punchy highlight that works as a social media teaser driving listeners to the full episode. Monetization starts earlier than most expect. Apply to Podcorn and Spotify Audience Network once you have 10 published episodes. Brands pay $15 to $50 per 1,000 downloads for niche podcast sponsorships. A show averaging 500 downloads per episode in a specific niche can attract its first sponsor within 3 months. Your action plan starting today. Choose your niche and format with Claude. Write your first episode script with Claude. Generate your audio with ElevenLabs. Design your cover art in Canva. Set up your Anchor account and upload your first episode today. Your podcast can be live on Spotify before the end of this week. No microphone required. Have you ever thought about starting a podcast but never did because of the equipment barrier? Drop it in the comments. I personally reply to every comment. If this opened up podcasting as a real option for you, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to Tech Talk Tech. We upload every single day. See you tomorrow.